Hey yogis, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Alauna and I'm a 22-year-old yoga teacher based in the state of Arizona for now. And for today's sequence, it's going to be focused around figure 4 pose. So we will be doing a bunch of different variations of figure 4 pose throughout this class. However, if one of the variations doesn't feel good in your body, feel free to go back to one of the other variations. So I encourage you to make this practice your own. I'm just here for suggestions. And we do not need any props for today's class. So let's go ahead and begin in a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you. Relaxing the shoulders down away from your ears, sitting up nice and tall, and maybe closing down your eyes. Slightly tucking the chin and lengthening up through the crown of your head. With every inhale, see if you can lift up taller. With every exhale, root down through your sits bones. Maybe choosing to set an intention for your practice today, something that you would like to cultivate. And it could just be as simple as being present for the duration of this video, not clicking out, not giving up, but staying here present on your mat, doing what you can, and not judging the rest. Slowly begin to dip the chin down and blink the eyes back open. And you can extend the legs so that they're bent with soles flat on the floor. So keeping a nice bend in the knees. And bring the hands behind you so that the wrists point in, fingers point back, really pressing the shoulders back, lifting the chest. And you may need to walk the left foot forward a little bit to get that right leg to cross over the left. But you want to make sure that the right ankle is just past the left thigh. And then if you don't feel anything in the lower body here, you can walk that left heel back in. Coming into a seated variation of figure 4 pose, flexing the right toes back, staying active in the leg. Then walk that left foot back out, uncross the legs, and then switch sides. Left ankle comes just past the right thigh to the outside, and maybe walking the heel in to deepen the stretch. Keeping the toes flexed like you're trying to stand on the wall next to you with that left foot. Keeping the chest lifted. Good. Walk the right leg back out, uncross the legs, and go ahead and roll down onto your back. Hug the knees in, give them a gentle squeeze. Then place the soles of feet down on the mat, walking them in towards your hips so that you can just barely touch your heels with your fingertips. And focusing on keeping the knees pressing in, not letting them splay out, keeping them at hip width distance apart. Grab onto the outside edges of your mat, tuck your shoulders underneath you, and begin to lift the hips up by pressing down through the feet and engaging the glutes and the inner thighs. Really trying to squeeze the thighs together. Finding your bridge pose. Exhale, slowly lower back down. Now adding a figure 4 variation, cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Stay here or press down through the left foot to lift the hips up, coming into a figure 4 bridge pose. Keeping those right toes flexed, lifting the hips. Exhale to lower down. And then hug the knees in towards the chest by threading the right hand in between the thighs, keeping the figure 4. Reclined figure 4 pose. Keeping the figure 4, bring the left sole of foot down to the mat. And then rock that right sole of foot across the body towards the left side of your mat, extending the right arm out at your side, coming into a twisted variation. So trying to press that right knee down away from you, stretching into the outer hip. And inhale, bring it back through center. Release that right sole of foot back down to the mat. Walk the heels in. Grab onto the outer edges of your mat. And then second side, cross the left ankle over the right thigh. And either stay here or press down through the right foot. Lift the hips up. Figure 4 bridge pose. Exhale to slowly release. Hips down to the mat, keeping the figure 4. Thread the left hand in between the thighs, interlacing them behind the right thigh. Reclined figure 4. And slowly drop the right sole of foot back down to the mat. Keeping the figure 4, drop the left sole of foot across towards the right side. Extending the left arm out at your side. Pressing the left knee away from you if that feels comfortable. Inhale to come back through center and hug both knees in towards the chest. Rocking from side to side, just noticing how the hips feel. Then bring the hands behind the thighs as you slowly begin to rock forward and back, coming up into a seat. Crossing at your ankles, moving to all fours. Then walk your knees back, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up and back, finding a downward facing dog. On your next inhale, look between the hands and step to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale to slowly roll up to standing and reach both arms up and overhead. Draw that right knee in towards your chest, finding your balance on your left foot, and either stay here or find a standing figure 4, crossing the right ankle over the left thigh, beginning to bend into that left knee to sink the hips down. You can keep the arms extended long or bring hands through heart center if that's too much on your shoulders, but keeping that right foot flexed. Inhale to rise tall, bring the knee back into the chest. Then exhale, hinge at the hips, bringing the hands through heart center, warrior 3, extending that right leg long behind you, keeping that right hip dropped and aligned with the left. And drop the right toes behind you, lift the chest up, find your high lunge, making sure that the front knee is stacked over the ankle. Hips are aligned facing forward. On an inhale, reach your arms down, around, and up. Then exhale, press the hands behind you, lower the torso down onto your thigh. On your next inhale, reach the arms up, drag the right toes in, draw the right knee up, in towards the chest. And one last time, figure 4, cross the right ankle over the left thigh, sit the hips down. Holding for 3, 2, and 1. Release everything, forward fold. Maybe pedaling out through that left ankle. Whew. And then doing the second side. So inhale, slowly roll up to standing. Reaching the arms up and overhead, shift the weight to the right foot, and draw the left knee in towards the chest. Stay here, or cross left ankle over the right thigh, sitting your hips down into figure 4, pressing the left foot onto the wall next to you. Inhale to grow tall, bring the left knee back in, reaching the arms up. Then exhale, hinge at the hips, press the left leg back, warrior 3, arms extended or at heart center. Drop the left toes behind you, lift the chest up, finding your high lunge, knee over ankle. Inhale, reach arms down, around, and up. And exhale, press your hands behind you, lower the torso to the thigh, airplane arms. And inhale, lift the arms up, draw the left toes back in, left knee comes into the chest. Then one last time, cross the left ankle over the right, bend into the right knee, sit the hips down, figure 4. And exhale, release it all, forward fold. Maybe swaying from side to side a little bit. Noticing how the legs feel. Maybe tapping out through that right heel. And when you're ready, inhale, halfway lift, hands come to your shins. Exhale, forward fold. Plant both hands and step both feet back into your downward facing dog. Lifting the hips, gripping down through your fingertips and your knuckles, keeping the hands glued to your mat. Lift the right toes just an inch off of your mat. And bend the right knee, cross the right ankle over the left thigh. So figure 4 in downward dog. And if this is plenty of a stretch for you, feel free to stay here. Or if you would like, try walking your hands back, lowering the left heel down, keeping that right foot flexed. As you inhale, lift the arms up, figure 4 standing. That's a challenge. Work up to it. Exhale to slowly lower back down. Walk the hands back forward, finding your figure 4 in downward dog. Then keeping that bend in the knee, just drag the right knee behind the right wrist. Extend the left leg behind you, lowering the hips down, finding your pigeon pose, making sure that you're putting equal weight into both legs. Hips are squared forward, and if you would like, you can fold forward, as long as this doesn't compromise your breath or make it difficult to take a deep inhale and exhale out. Taking 5 deep breaths here, recentering. On your next inhale, slowly press into the hands and lift back up. Then shift your weight down onto that right hip and draw that left leg around in front of you, interlacing the hands behind the thigh, lifting it up. So trying your best not to round through the spine, but really lifting the chest forward, sitting tall, even if your leg isn't straight. If you can reach, you can grab onto the shin, but don't hike your shoulders just to do that. And then slow as you can, begin to keep a hold of the leg as you roll down onto your back. Finding a nice hamstring stretch here. Then slowly cross the left leg over the right, extending the arms out by your sides. Lower the knees off to the right, coming into a reclined spinal twist. Maybe double wrapping the legs at your ankles. Keeping both shoulders flat on the mat, even if that means taking the knees up a little bit. Inhale to slowly lift back through center. Uncross the legs, hug the knees in towards the chest. And then bring the hands to the backs of the thighs. Slowly begin to rock up into a seat. Cross at your ankles, coming into all fours. And then walking the knees back, tucking your toes and lifting the hips, downward facing dog. Moving to the second side, lift the left toes off your mat. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. And feel free to stay here. or walk the hands back, plant the right heel down, bend into the right knee, and inhale to lift the arms up and overhead. Standing figure 4. Exhale to lower back down. Walk the hands out, finding your downward facing dog, figure 4. And then keeping the bend in that left knee, just drag the left knee behind the left wrist, lowering the hips down as you extend the right leg back, squaring the hips towards the front. Inhale to lift the chest, and exhale, lower down. Again, staying lifted if that's better for your breath. And taking 5 deep inhales and exhales here in pigeon. On an inhale, slowly press back into the hands, walk them back in. Then shift the weight down onto your left hip, draw that right leg forward, and interlace the hands behind the thigh. As you pull the chest high, lift the leg up. Placing the hands wherever is most comfortable on the leg, just not on the knee. Staying active here as you slow and controlled lower down onto your back, keeping the leg extended, finding a hamstring stretch. Then cross the right leg over the left, extend the arms out by your sides, and shift both knees over to the left. Maybe double wrapping at the ankles. Again, focusing on keeping the shoulders down and prioritizing that over getting the knee all the way over. Inhale slowly brings you back through center. Uncross the legs and hug both knees in towards the chest one last time. Taking any final movements that your body may be craving here today, before allowing the legs to extend out long. Arms rest comfortably at your sides, making any adjustments that you need to in order to find stillness. Allowing all of the movements from today's practice to sink into the body. Staying present with your breath. And simply observing every inhale and exhale. And if any thoughts arise, simply observe them and let them go. Allowing yourself a few moments of peace here in Shavasana. Slowly bring movement back to the fingertips, rotating through the wrists and the ankles. And reach both arms up and overhead, finding a full body stretch before bending into both knees and rolling over onto your favorite side. Keeping both eyes closed. Slowly make your way up into a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you. And place your hands on your knees or bring hands to heart center. And taking 3 final grounding breaths together in 3, 2, 1. slightly tucking your chin, and thanking yourself for showing up to practice today. I thank you all for showing up to practice with me today, and I hope you enjoyed this flow. It was kind of a challenge, so keep working at it, keep coming back and practicing it, and let me know down in the comments what other peak poses would you like to work on. I really enjoyed making this flow. And of course, I love seeing your thumbs, so let me know that you like this video with those, and let me know any other videos that you would like to see down in the comments below. And if you haven't already, subscribe. What are you doing? I hope to see you guys again in my next video, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye guys.